that knows everybody's dirty secret.
Including violence against witnesses to his kidnapping.
How many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think
The problem with Oprah is that she doesn't really, and maybe she does, and she's just sort of been hiding it all this time, and but she doesn't really seem to understand the question of power, of systems, and so, you know, I mean, if she came out tomorrow and said, like, look, we got some real problems with antitrust issues and with wealth inequality, that we need to structurally change things, and we need to card check. That's the one thing that we really need to. I mean, if those things were happening, I would be like, you know, all right, probably could vote for Oprah.
She did a panel where Ahmed Shalabi's right hand or spokesperson was by far the most ethical person on it, because at least they had a personal financial self-interest in it. Judith Miller was like a lie. I mean, maybe they all had fine. They did. Because who else would know who Kenneth Pollock is if he didn't write that friggin' book?
Right, exactly.
Jesus.
There's nothing like having Curveball's right-hand man on your show to prove that we should go to war.
Yeah. And then also, and the first one was Judith Miller. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
great.
I mean, it was
great stuff.
She's going to launch the wokest drone strikes.
The wokest drone.
club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are. A lot of people be like, what, who? Come on, man, stop playing. So, ever since I put out the contract with Black America, you know they've been with me. Here and there, this and that. But it's cool, you know. I expect that. You know, I've been working with, you know, on the big three for a long time, and you know how they've been working with me with that. I done made it, you know, plain, simple, and clear what they've been doing. You know.
To pretend to be his friend on camera. But I mean, you kind of did the same thing with Luther Vandross when you humiliated him on his deathbed.
What makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their club. That pisses them off.
That is waking up about this long forehead velociraptor looking ass. I am so tired of Oprah, I really am. All these people in the world got a problem with you, and you think you ain't the problem. Even Taraji. I mean, come on. Nobody becomes a billionaire by being ethical, baby. I'm just saying, nobody becomes a billionaire by being ethical. So me seeing Oprah get dragged, I'm like, ooh, hit her again. Ooh, hit her again. Hit her again. Especially how she did them people in Maui talking about, I'm gonna pray for you while you got all them acres of land. Get the land away, baby. Faith without works is dead. Prayer without works is dead. Give the land back, baby. So anyway, it's been nice seeing the internet drag Oprah. I know Monique is so happy that the internet is finally waking up about Oprah. Like, she gives me the worst vibes ever. And the first red flag was that billionaire shit. That was the first red flag for me. But then she kept having issues with people, and people kept talking about their issues with her, and I'm just like, ooh, you were...
The saga of Diddy's alleged actions takes another dark turn as more names enter the fray. Jaguar Wright's recent accusations go beyond Ice Cube and Oprah Winfrey, pulling in other prominent figures who, she claims, have either been complicit in or victims of the industry's powerful elite. From former collaborators to rising stars, this web of drama grows thicker by the minute.
That a former employee of who was working at Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls. She was arrested yesterday for several charges, including assault, indecent assault, as well as soliciting girls under the age to commit indecent assault. And she's now at the Vereniging police cells.
Jaguar has singled out Clive Davis, a music mogul often credited with launching careers, as someone who allegedly shielded Diddy from accountability for decades. She paints him as a key player in orchestrating a system that exploited artists for profit. Adding to the mix, she claims Jay-Z has also benefited from these power dynamics, with allegations of strategic partnerships and betrayals to maintain his empire. But perhaps the most shocking revelation involves industry newcomers. Jaguar hints at the exploitation of young talent, calling out how rising stars like Chloe Bailey and Normani face pressures that mirror the struggles of artists before them.
Free South African school for girls.
Go look and see what happened to them girls.
So Oprah opened the school all the way back in 2007. And since the school's opening, it has been marred with many different controversies. You see, shortly after the school opened, a matron of the school was charged with touching several of the girls in a very inappropriate manner. When the crime eventually came to light, Oprah herself went to fire the school's head mistress. Then, in another incident that happened in 2011, law enforcement investigated the body of a newborn that was found in one of the students' bags. Apparently, one of the girls at the school gave birth, but there were no charges filed against her after this incident. There were also other scandals the school was involved in, like in 2009 when 7 students were suspended for F***ing their classmates. And now there's a new scandal that the school is known for, as many people online have started spreading rumors that girls are disappearing from the school. According to these rumors, several students from the school have gone missing. But as of right now, nobody is sure why these rumors have started, as there is currently no news reporting that there have been missing girls at Oprah's school. Regardless, these rumors have managed to go viral all over TikTok and Twitter, and they continue to be spread to this day.
She alleges that the same networks once used to control veterans are now adapting their tactics to a new generation. Meanwhile, whispers about past collaborators like Mary J. Blige and Usher bring a layer of personal betrayal to the narrative.
South Africa has seen a huge spike in child kidnapping and murder in the last few months. Civil organizations are worried that the country is losing its fight against the menace. Our reporter, Kalden Ongmu, has filed this story.
Over the past few months, several posters like these have been circulating on social media, with pleas to help find these missing children who have been allegedly kidnapped. Communities and civil society organizations believe that the issue of kidnapping is getting out of hand. According to the South African Police Service Missing Persons Bureau, a child goes missing every 5 hours in South Africa. A non-profit group, Missing Children South Africa, says the country is losing the fight against the rising number of child kidnapping.
Wright suggests their silence on industry misconduct has further enabled the culture of power imbalance. She even calls into question the mysterious departures of figures like Heavy D and Kim Porter, reigniting speculation about whether their fates were entirely natural.
First heard that my brother was dead. I actually heard it on CNN that the government did not notify me, as they've claimed. I thought, okay, he killed himself. At the time, I had no reason to doubt it, and I just figured that was his decision, and I respected it. I grieved the loss of a brother, but it was his decision. But then, after the autopsy was done, and all the other information started coming out, it became apparent that it was not a suicide. When you looked at the autopsy results, the photographs we have of the body, the details of the mark on his neck, compared to the way they said he was hanging, nothing matches up. If you looked at all of these facts and evidence, you would not come up with the conclusion that it was a suicide, other than the fact that Bill Barr made that ridiculous statement about it being a suicide, and the chief medical examiner, Barbara Sampson, overrode the actual pathology of the autopsy and declared it a suicide.
And this man continued to raise even more interesting suspicions.
I knew my brother wasn't a flight risk, and he's my brother. I didn't care. And then bail was denied, which is why he was in jail. And then they were going to appeal the decision for bail. And Jeffrey was putting up a pretty big bail, and they asked me for the appeal if I would guarantee his bail. And I agreed, in essence doubling it. So there was a chance he might have gotten bail. And that hearing was scheduled in, I think, for the 12th, in a couple of days. So then I'm thinking, if he was going to kill himself, wouldn't he wait to after the bail hearing? Because if he got bail, he'd be living in his house with an ankle monitor and armed guards and cameras, so he wouldn't disappear anywhere. Not that I thought he would try. And then if bail was denied again, then it would be a more compelling argument for him to kill himself if he wanted to. A few days before the bail hearing makes no...
Jaguar Wright's claims about Ice Cube are no less explosive. She suggests that his attempts to challenge systemic inequality with his contract with Black America drew the ire of powerful figures in the industry. While Cube's initiative aimed to address long-standing racial and economic disparities, Jaguar claims it made him a target for those looking to maintain the status quo. Her allegations go so far as to suggest that Diddy played a role in amplifying the backlash against Cube, damaging his reputation to protect his own interests. Adding another layer of complexity, Jaguar accuses Oprah Winfrey of using her platform to frame Cube's activism as divisive. Oprah, often celebrated for her philanthropic work and advocacy, is painted in a different light as someone who allegedly prioritized maintaining industry alliances over supporting progressive change. These claims, if true, cast a shadow over one of the most respected figures in Hollywood and challenge her public image as a force for good.
8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women. How many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of...
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were. Right.
Sure.
Appear to
Let me
be,
rephrase
right,
it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized,
Yeah.
meaning
Victim.
this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.